The ANC in Limpopo will today hold a special PEC, and that's to decide on who will hold the treasurer's position after Danny Msiza stepped aside last week. Now, Msiza wrote a letter a day after the province received a correspondence from Deputy Secretary General Jesse Duarte instructing the PEC to implement the resolution. Msiza faces money laundering, racketeering, fraud and corruption charges related to the looting of the collapsed VBS Mutual Bank. Newsroom Africa's Pelane Phakgadi is our reporter on this story. He's live to us now from Polokwane. Pelane, any idea how this meeting is likely to unfold today?
Well, we are expecting that the PEC will be sitting some time today, as we are told by the provincial secretariat. But politics really at play here in Limpopo, as we expect that they sit and deliberate on matters, including who would really be taking over responsibilities as the provincial treasurer of this particular province. You may ask, Ayanda, why Danny Msiza is also stepping aside just last week when many did so some months ago, including the Secretary General Ismail who was suspended as he was refusing to step aside, and he faces criminal charges. We all know that he is currently in court claiming to have new evidence, and wants the High Court Johannesburg Division on the August the 25th to hear his leave to appeal application to have his suspension rescinded, and at the same time his decision to suspend party president Cyril Ramaphosa to be upheld. So that is the SG. But here in the far most province, the powerful Danny Msiza as the treasurer has now stepped aside, and the province should make a decision on the important portfolio so that there could be assistance as far as resources mobilization is concerned ahead of the local government elections. And that a decision that we are waiting, of course, if there will be a postponement or they'll be held this year. So the province wanted clarity on whether Msiza should step aside, as he had already done so for almost 2 years. You would remember, Ayanda, that when Terry Mutau's report came out, titled The Great Heist Report, the allegations against Danny Msiza were so damning that the African National Congress Integrity Commission asked him to step aside as per the 2015 NGC resolution and subsequent Nazareth resolution, that whoever who brings the name of the party into disrepute, he or she should step aside. So pointed as the kingpins at the time, Msiza and Provincial Deputy Chairperson Florence Radzilane Ayanda stood aside for almost 2 years. So they came back to their positions currently. So Radzilane was the mayor of the Vembe District Municipality and said to have asked for kickbacks. No criminal charges have been laid against her, so she is back in her position. And with the recent instruction by the African National Congress that those criminally charged should step aside, she is definitely not affected by the step aside resolution as it stands as per the ANC's instruction. So we will be talking to the provincial secretary, Soviet El-Khanyane, later on this morning. He will be bringing us up to speed as far as the issue of the step aside is concerned, and as well as the endorsement, or I think which is very important, of a name to the National Executive Committee of a new mayor of Polokwane. Former Executive Mayor Thembing Kadimeng has been handed the Coxstar Deputy Ministry position. She is currently deputizing Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma there by Coxstar. So that position that Kadimeng held is now vacant. So we know that the name of Capricorn District Executive Mayor John Mbe is touted to be the favored name, but those will be confirmed. All those issues will be confirmed by the provincial secretariat to bring people of Polokwane into the party's confidence, led by Chipu Stanley Matawata, that the name that will be bringing forth will be at the best interest of the province's only city. So 2 issues we are expecting that the province will be talking to us today: how they're going to be moving forward without Danny Msiza, and how are they going to ensure that the role that he previously or he holds but currently having to step aside is not really affected during this issue as he ventilates his matters in court. And secondly, the important name of who will be the next mayor of Polokwane.
Yeah, Pelane, on that first issue, are there any names being touted about who might possibly replace Danny Msiza whilst he, I guess, deals with those issues, as you put it, in court?
The last time when the two stepped aside, Danny Msiza as well as Florence Radzilane, it was the top 5 of the province who continued with the day-to-day operations. The chairperson took all the issues around the chairperson's office, that is Stanley Matawata. He did the work of the chairperson and the deputy chairperson, Florence Radzilane, who stood aside at that time. And we do know that at the time, people like the spokesperson of the PEC, Donald Salamlela, was coming in to assist the issues around the treasury, and as well as the deputy provincial secretary, Baskopo Makam, was also assisting on the issue of the treasury issues. So we do know, having seen what had happened the previous time, perhaps they will decide among themselves as to how they're going to be moving forward with the already elected top 5 of the province as to who will be taking some of the roles of treasury, and how are they going to be ensuring that the issues around resources mobilization ahead of the local government elections is taken care of. And this time they do have an extra man at hand, as opposed to the last time when Florence Radzilane had also stood aside. So currently she is also part of the PEC. So it is top 4 formally that is in the province. That's the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, secretariat, deputy, and there is no treasurer at this moment. And that is the very much important portfolio they want to ensure that there is a day-to-day running of, and they will want to know between themselves, I would assume, that how are they going to work around it, or if they're going to go into the whole PEC and try perhaps tout a name that will come through to assist the province as it is, to ensure that there is adequate resource mobilizations ahead of those much anticipated elections.
All very important machinations. Pelane Phakgadi keeping a close eye on it for us. He's live to us there from Polokwane. Pelane, once again, thanks very much indeed.